There's something nobody tells you about living in a security estate. When it works, you never think about it. And when it doesn't, it's already too late. My name is Sonja. I'm 32 years old. And what happened to my family that night didn't start when criminals entered our home. It started 3 years earlier when I bought it. We moved into a golf estate because we believed it was the safest decision we could make for our children. Controlled access, perimeter fencing, cameras, 24-hour patrols. I spoke to the estate manager. I spoke to the security manager. I asked about protocols, response times, patrol routes, access procedures, you name it. And every answer sounded confident, structured, final. So we moved in believing someone else had already removed the opportunity for crime. Then, they entered the estate undetected. They entered our home unnoticed. And everything became very quiet. Until it wasn't. We were woken up and separated almost immediately. Different rooms, different parts of the house, different levels of terror. I remember being forced onto the floor, my hands tied, being told not to scream. They told us exactly what they would do if we didn't cooperate. They spoke about violating us. They spoke about ending us. They spoke about what would happen to our children if a PIN code was wrong. They wanted our bank cards. They wanted the numbers, and they made it very clear that if they couldn't get money from our accounts, someone in that house would pay for it. One of them left at around 23 o'clock to withdraw money. The rest stayed behind, walking through our home, shouting at us, threatening us, listening for movement, waiting. Then he came back, and after midnight another one left again, and came back again. Vehicles entering and leaving a security estate, in the middle of the night, more than once. Nobody questioned it, nobody stopped them. Nobody noticed the lights on in our house the entire night. Nobody realized that we were tied up in different rooms, unable to even check if our children were still alive. At one point, I was left alone, naked, bound, terrified, not knowing what was happening to my family and the rest of the house. They left when they were satisfied. Not when security arrived. Not when patrols responded. They left on their own terms. We were only freed the next morning when our domestic worker arrived and found us tied up inside our own home. Afterwards, the questions started. How did they enter the estate? Where were the patrol vehicles? Why did nobody question irregular movement at our home after midnight? Why did nobody respond to lights being on throughout the night? How did gang members leave the estate, withdraw money, and return more than once? And why were some of the cameras not functioning that night? There was no footage, no visual record. No answers about when the cameras stopped working, or why maintenance hadn't addressed it. Then, I learned something else. The man introduced to me as the estate's security manager was actually the manager of the security company servicing the estate, which meant the person responsible for security oversight worked for the same company providing the system. That is a conflict of interest I did not understand before. Now I do. It was only after the attack that I discovered the importance of an independent security risk assessment. Someone with no financial interest in selling cameras, or fencing, or monitoring contracts. Someone whose only job is to identify opportunity for crime before criminals do. Because crime needs 3 things: desire, ability, opportunity. And that night opportunity existed everywhere. Now my family is searching for another home. But this time, I won't rely on promises. I will ask for security plans, patrol protocols, meeting minutes, SIRA certification for every security officer on site, and proof that the estate has undergone a rigorous independent security risk assessment. Because when disaster strikes, nobody takes responsibility. I thought estate security would protect us. Now I know that without independent oversight it can create a false sense of safety instead. If you're buying into a security estate to keep your family safe, ask for proof. Because the night criminals entered my home, they didn't break through the fence. They walked through opportunity.